Hey moguls, it's Dr. T here, and I'm coming to you with an amazing multi-million dollar upgrade today. So stay tuned all the way through. So you can learn how to transform quickly with the velocity of a mogul. Now, let's get this upgrade done. So, just as a reminder, a mogul is a powerful, influential being, someone who's in their power, operating at their potential, transforming society, elevating humanity, and just operating at the top of their operating system, living their purpose and making a contribution on a top level. So, what we want to do is be able to transform quickly with the velocity of a mogul because what do? They all transform reality. They do it more quickly than everybody. That's why they're further along in the trajectory, upward in the ascension in that trajectory. They're the ones taking all of us with them, or we would be down in the lower frequency. So we want to learn to transform quickly, get that velocity moving. And one of the most important things you're going to do in order to make that happen is each time that you know that something needs to shift, that something is not correct for you, something you're off track, you're out of whack, something is not aligned with what it is you're supposed to be doing, where you're supposed to be, who you're supposed to be with, what you're supposed to be focused on, and that somehow, some way, you are not in the alignment of reality that you're supposed to be in. This is the pivot point, my friends. This is key, all you up and coming moguls, to understand that is the direction you are getting in order to make a shift and transform with immediacy, to transform quickly. It is not a direction that you're receiving from the great source of all reality, whatever you'd like to refer to it as, that you should sit around and hesitate. It's not a message that you should sit around and just continue to contemplate. It's not a message that you should sit around and just marinate in the wrong reality. And it's not a message that you should stay there and possibly get further entrenched or even, dare I say it, trapped in that reality, which hesitating, waiting, and almost, dare I say, mentally masturbating over it can end up doing. And this is why, if you want to know why so many people in the world and the mass population, particularly, stay stuck in a reality, it's because at the moment they got the navigation to transform quickly, they ignored it, they spun around in it, they overthought it. And this is a difference between you or them or anyone that doesn't go on the trajectory they're meant to and live their full potential. It is a difference between those people and moguls and the mogul velocity of transformation and acting with immediacy or just acting quickly on it, making a decision, making an upgrade, shifting internally, shifting something in their reality, shifting in their relationships, shifting in their company, making an upgrade in their family, turning it into a family dynasty, adding to society, elevating humanity, making a new innovation that is going to make an amazing contribution in order to create a multi-generational legacy of positive influential impact, of mogul impact. They transform quickly. Now, this doesn't mean that it's just like, oh my god, I'm so stressed and I'm so rushed. Like, it's not like that. It's not like, "Oh my god, I gotta be all stressed out, I'm gonna blow up my whole life." It's not that, because many things are an internal upgrade, a shift in our programming. Many things are a relationship upgrade, a shift within our relationships. Many things are really a shift in dynamics, circuitry, the way we collaborate relationally, and some things are more structurally needing to shift. And so we want to move in that direction. We want our velocity to go forward, upward, up the frequency, forward in the trajectory through the new reality, following the directions that the great source of all things, this evolutionary force of nature, the universe, God, however you refer to your higher power, that is sending us in this messaging, is saying, here's an adjustment, here's a shift, here's a refinement, here's an upgrade. Make it, shift it, go, make the shift. And it's basically like you're on course. You're a ship navigating, and you're navigating through the sea. One moment, everyone. So you're navigating and you're on course and you're taking a track to somewhere. And yet, when you get a new coordinate, and this powerful creator is giving you a new directive, it is about that moment. Stand by, everyone. Stay with me. Stand by. All right, everyone. It is about that moment, right here, right now. Shift course, feeling a little rocky waters, getting a directive, and making sure that you move forward in that. The opposite, which is more of what we see the mass population doing, getting a powerful directive that is empowering, that we know feels like it's a better direction, and yet kind of waiting, hesitating a bit, overthinking it, maybe putting it off. Maybe it's put off a day, maybe it's put off a month, a year. Maybe it's put off for our whole lifetime, and we've been getting a message that's saying, move in a new, better direction. Flow forward in something. Raise your frequency upward. And we keep knowing it, and we all have this. So let's be really kind to ourselves. We all have these navigations that come in because that's we're being guided in a positive way. And we want to trust that. We want to go ahead and transform more quickly. We want to move in a higher velocity. This is what I refer to as the mogul philosophy or velocity. Let's just say that again. Let's do the mogul velocity. And all that means is that you are in empowerment, that you're in the reality that you are a powerful, influential being. And what's cool is that when you make a shift, that all of the reality around you goes in a more positive way. Now, it might not always seem like that immediately. It can seem a little ripply. It can seem a little uh, like the waters can seem a little rough, but it's also because think about this: when a ship is navigating from one port to another, and the goal is to get there safely, and the time and the efficiency that is ideal, these tweaks and these small movements, but they're very important. They're full of leverage. They're making sure we're on course to each milestone, to each port of call that we're meant to get to. And as we've all heard this said before, that if a ship is off course even a little bit and not receiving that coordinate and dialing that in, it can end up in a completely different place. And we've all experienced moments of our lives, it's just part of being human, where we realize, where the hell am I and how did I get here? What am I doing in this reality? What am I doing in this scenario, this company, this relationship? It could be this neighborhood. It could just be a moment that feels like you're meant to be somewhere else and you're getting a directive to just shift those coordinates. So, the way to transform more quickly, the way to move through rapid growth is shifting more into that velocity of a mogul, where we get a directive, we're getting navigation, we know it's a new coordinate, we know it's correct, that we have a sense like, "Yep, that's a better way to go." And trust that, and we go forward, and it's not always about what everyone else around us is doing, and a lot of times it's not. because you might be given that message to be a leader of that change, and if all we do is say, "I gotta belong and everyone around me has to be doing the same exact thing or I'm off," what if you're receiving the message to make that change, and you're the one that's gonna help create this amazing ripple effect or this beautiful butterfly effect that is gonna transform everything around you, the entire reality that you're connected to, and that's a really powerful thing, so we wanna stay in the responsibility of get when we receive that directive and trusting that more fully. And that's very different, everyone, than feeling like, "Oh my god, I'm supposed to change something, but I have to get all stressed out. Oh my god, I have to blow up my life, rip my life apart." It doesn't have that quality to it, but it certainly doesn't have the quality to it of, "I'm gonna churn and churn and churn and churn over it and over it until, I am paralyzed in it," because there are these portals of opportunity that are happening in our world and that are doing these beautiful synchronistic things, and we're all a part of that. So we're all receiving important messaging to go in certain direction, and it also will lead you to where you're supposed to go. And sometimes it's going to be with people that you're used to being with. Sometimes it's going to lead you to new experiences that you're meant to have to develop as a human, as a soul, as a spirit through kind of curriculum or whatever kind of it's not like the top moguls of the world and the lovely people that I've gotten to work with in my life are just thrashing about in some very stressful way of transforming, but they trust the directive. They begin to move in that way, begin to think in that way, feel in that way, and their intentions flow more in that way. They begin to talk about it more. They begin to connect to it more, envision, imagine, and so much of it is about that, and some of it is gonna be about making structural changes that are more significant that you'll make, but at a minimum, your invitation is to begin to move or flow forward in that direction, begin to trust that navigation, know that that's the message being given to you, and for all you know, that might be your special assignment of that moment, and other people might not have that exact assignment, and that's because it's yours. So, you're invited to make this upgrade and connect with transforming more quickly, replacing some of the programming that we've been taught, where you have to, like, really, really just sort through constantly tons and tons of layers of decision making, and just see if you can upgrade even 10% faster into the shift that you make. Maybe you move into 20% faster in making decisions, and you keep getting to such a point where you're so used to it that what's great is that you'll just start to get so connected to trusting the navigation that you're receiving that your decision making will happen more smoothly, more immediately, and you'll be operating more in that mobile level velocity. Okay, everyone. So this upgrade is a really important one in our new era of rapid transformation. This is also means you can trust that messaging even more because we're given more transformative messages that we're gonna get more and more and more as we go along in this new age. I appreciate you taking the upgrade in. It would be very helpful for you to, subscribe, like, this video if this feels intuitive to you, and something that moguls do in order to enact more change is what defines them is they're always thinking about how to share this with other people. So if there's someone in your life that you feel could make decisions more quickly, could transform more immediately, go ahead and send them this, spread around the prosperity. And it really does help the channel for me to know if this is something that is supporting you. So feel free to comment something that you're transforming, something that you're going to change, something you're going to move faster in. Let me know how it's going. It'll help me know how to support you better. And again, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for moguling on up. I will see you all next time. Take care.